Welcome to the John Cady podcast. I'm John Cady, former minister, U.S. Navy retired. It's been a little over a week. In fact, it's been 10 days since the last time I posted any content. For those who might be wondering why I haven't posted anything, life happens. Work's been pretty hectic, had a lot of stuff to get done on the job, like many of us. I'm not one of these influencers who does this full time. I work a regular job. This is just something I do on the side, mostly as a hobby. And when I got home from work, I just didn't really feel like posting anything because I was just tired. I had to decompress. But there was more to that. After 30 episodes, I had a case of creative block. And what's creative block? Creative block is when you sit back and you're trying to figure out, what do you want to do? What am I going to talk about this time? And I didn't have anything decent to talk about. So I ended up having to take a break. Just focus on dealing with my family, dealing with work, and just not worry about it for a little while. I'm back. Today's episode covers a family milestone. As parents, we all have special milestones that we enjoy and celebrate with our children. From the moment they were born, the first steps that they take, the first day of school, when they learn how to read and write, if they're into sports, the day they make Little League or Pop Warner football or whatever other sport is there. And then there's the milestone that I just recently had with my daughter, the same one I had with my son a few years ago. What milestone was that? The celebration of their 16th birthday. Growing up in a home full of brothers, I didn't have a sister. When my brothers and I each hit our 16th birthday, yes, we had dinner, we had cake and a little celebration, but it wasn't as involved or as extravagant as I found out this past month with a girl. Not having a sister, I had no idea what I was getting myself into here. In fact, since the day my lovely and lovable daughter was born, it's been a crash course. I'm learning as I'm going every step of the way. It's just like the adage, parenting doesn't come with instructions. Given that I didn't have a sister, I had no template to follow when trying to figure out how to deal with and work with my daughter through the various things that she's going through. Her 16th birthday was on the 8th of August. She lives up in Cady, Kansas with her mom and her stepdad. I was off work that day, so it was a beautiful opportunity to spend the day with my daughter and enjoy this milestone with her. What did my daughter want to have to start off with? She wanted to have a cake. In fact, she wanted to have red velvet cake. For those who've never had red velvet cake is very sweet and it's very delicious. And given that she's got a younger brother and sister, I wanted to make sure that she had enough red velvet cake for them to share as well. So I went to Walmart, picked up the cakes at the bake shop. I picked up 2 red velvet cakes and also picked up 2 trays of red velvet cupcakes. That way there was plenty to enjoy for everybody. Drive up to Cady, meet my daughter, and she's like, "Dad, can we go shopping? I want to go shopping for my birthday." Now, a 16-year-old girl wanting to go shopping. Again, parenting has no instructions. And again, not having a sister, I had no template. So this was going to be an adventure, not just for her, but for me as well. We get in my car, drive down to Bartlesville, which is where I live. First stop was Five Below. Five Below is a popular store for teenage girls. There's all kinds of neat and cool stuff there for them to get. T-shirts, jewelry, makeup, you name it, it's there. Five Below is definitely a great place for a girl to shop. And she was really enjoying herself. After picking out what she wanted from there, the next stop was Walmart. Of course, everybody stops at Walmart. She had a few things she wanted there as well. Once we got done at Walmart, back in the car. Now we're heading to another part of Bartlesville, go down to a nice big strip mall down there. And there were 2 places where my daughter wanted to shop. One was Bath & Body Works. The other was Ulta Beauty. I'm familiar with Bath & Body. Bath & Body historically had all kinds of nice stuff. It was easy to figure out going with her. She had an easy time figuring out what she wanted from Bath & Body. Then we go to Ulta Beauty. That was where something beautiful happened. And I'm not saying that to plug Ulta Beauty, even though they do have some nice stuff there, but just the selection of all the beauty products makeup, perfume, nail stuff. And here's a 16-year-old girl about to go into sensory overload because she was just overwhelmed by all the wonderful things that she was observing in the store. I told her, hey, you can pick out what you want, just remember, your mom and I don't have that much in the way of cash, so let's not go too overboard. Well, she found some nice stuff there. We made the purchase, and we were on our way. Glancing down at my phone, I noticed, we've been out here running around for a while, and I know you wanted to go someplace to eat. She initially wanted to go to IHOP. We go to IHOP, which was a little further down the street, only to find out, and I hate to say this, because I've eaten at IHOP before, and IHOP was always pretty decent, but in this case, I don't know what was going on. There was nobody there at the front door to greet us and to show us a seat where we could enjoy our meal. I looked at my daughter and I said, where else would you like to go eat? Because this isn't cutting it. We talked it over and we agreed on going to Copan since it was on our way home. We had to hurry up and get this done because her stepdad and her brother and sister were wanting to go swimming. We wanted to make sure we got home in time to join them. We go over there to the Copan truck stop and diner. Turns out that was a much better choice because something that my late girlfriend and I agreed upon back when we moved to Bartlesville in 2020 was we wanted to support local businesses as much as possible. Now, IHOP is a big franchise. Copan truck stop is local. That fulfilled a promise that I made to my girlfriend when she was still living, but also it was a much better treat for my daughter because she got to eat some real home cooking and not the franchise stuff. And after that, we go back home to Cady, meet up with the rest of the family, and on our way to the Independence Water Park, Independence, Kansas. We enjoyed the afternoon of swimming, had a good time. Once we were done swimming, it was time to go home. We had a great time. We were all tired, we were all a little sunburnt, but hey, no regrets. It may not have been an extravagant Sweet 16, and it certainly may not have been a very colorful and like the ones that they showed on these TV shows back in the day, but it was a Sweet 16 that my daughter could remember because she got to spend it especially with her dad and the rest of the family. And that's what really matters, is being there for these moments, for these milestones with our children. This is John Cady. Thank you for listening, indulging in the podcast today. If you like this content, hit like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.